So my first interaction with research being connected to Orkney was taking part in a circular economy sandpit that took place up there. And it was very clear from the outset that the research effort at RGU was always about engaging with communities, about trying to create a meaningful impact in Orkney, much more than the specifically research-based themes at that time. And staff across the university were invited to take part in the early stages of the Orkney project to find out how different interests, different areas of skill, expertise could be pulled together in order to connect with really meaningful themes for people living in Orkney. So the circular economy sandpit allowed me to really engage fully with issues of plastics. I already, as a product designer, have a lot of interest in circular economy issues and about the use of plastics. And I had been working on ideas and processes for improving the potential to upcycle and recycle plastics at the source of waste. And that first sandpit allowed me to connect some of those ideas within that research to ways where we could make meaningful impacts in the community in Orkney. So at that point, I was able to engage with Orkney Islands Council, who had already put in place some really positive approaches to circularity within the islands. Plastic waste has already been sorted. Plastics are identified by companies, by domestic pickups, etc. They're doing a lot of really positive work in terms of how they're trying to streamline the way that waste is dealt with over the course of the next 20 years. So it was a great opportunity for me to engage with that appetite for change and that kind of drive that they already have for positive change within circularity in the community. My own research is very much based around how to use plastics better. I'm not a researcher that thinks that plastic is a bad material. I'm quite the opposite, in the sense that I think plastic, pardon the pun, is fantastic. It's just used very, very badly. And what we need to try and do is move away from single-use plastics to multi-use plastic objects. And as a part of the RGU accelerator, which launched in 2019, myself and some of my colleagues took part in the accelerator and created a company called Origin Plastics. And the purpose of that company is to provide communities with the ability to recycle plastics at the source of waste, so that they don't need to be transported to centralised recycling centres or to centralised manufacturing centres to be made into new products and then shipped back to us again, thereby creating tons and tons of carbon the entire time. What we're looking to do is to try and base recycling and design and production facilities at the source of waste. And particularly for a community like Orkney, where you have an island-based community, 22,500 people, creates a very specific amount of waste. That waste has to be shipped off the island to be processed, all comes at a cost. And we realised that there was a really fantastic opportunity there to try and do a project within Orkney where we could take some of that waste, design and produce new products out of it, and sell that or give that back to the community to try and make positive impacts. As a result of working directly with Orkney Islands Council, Zero Waste Scotland, we put together a project where we're looking to produce 2 different types of products. So we're going to identify volumes of waste that we can use, and we're going to create 2 different types of streams of product. One stream of product will not be for profit and will simply be items that can use up plastic waste in terms of using the volume to create products that just can be used seasonally or over and over again. And these will be to support industries such as aquaculture, agriculture, fisheries industries, etc. So our aim is to create commercially viable, desirable consumer products that will generate profits in order to sustain the Origin model as it goes forth, and to help the communities within which an Origin hub, as we're calling it, will be located. So to date, we've been lucky enough to get funding from Zero Waste Scotland to engage with the Orkney community and with various industries based there and companies. we've been able to appoint a consultant who's been working up in Orkney to find out about plastic use, to find out about what types of products they use, the rotation, the number of products, and the commercial viability of those products. And we're now able to produce and build a model to understand how to create a sustainable origin hub that can take waste streams from Orkney and design and create new products that might be able to fulfill some of the needs that those companies or industries might have. So our real aim and objective is to reduce the amount of plastic that's taken off the island for processing by designing and creating new products that can be used within the community and even sold within the community for commercial gain by different companies or partners.